Welcome to another beautiful day out here at the river house. It's actually Sunday. I more or less took the whole week off. I just did some stuff with Shay. The weather was warm enough that it was a little wet. And then yesterday we just went and did some Christmassy things. Today is supposed to be miserable and rainy, and it's not. And so I had a really specific plan. I was going to do some end of year make stuff, right? I'm going to bring the electrical cable down off the hill. I wanted to pull the tires off of this thing, tires and rims, because I'm getting ready to modify. I want to cut the rims down. Well, I'm not going to cut the rims down. A machine shop, cut the rims down, and then put it on some much smaller tires so it's not so high in the air and make it a whole lot easier and whatnot. I was hoping to cover the rock crusher, pull all the batteries out and store them inside for the winter. Maybe even, I don't know, put the radiator hoses on the Willys Jeep and have one little test to see if we got spark in the electrical system, stuff like that. And then I was going to bring the dump truck down the hill and pop the valve covers off so that we could just confirm or deny any mechanical issues, because I was expecting it to be rainy and sloppy, and it's not. So now I got to ask myself, do I want to go in where the rock crusher is, and there's a whole bunch of material that's too mixed with dirt to really be crushable simply. I could just scoop all that out, level that area, use the dump truck to haul it over for roadbed fill, and double my not in the way storage area. We'll do something. Yeah, everything changed. It's so dry up here. We're gonna move dirt. We're gonna clean out an area so that I can begin stacking stuff there. We got this little accessy road right here, full of all these nice big but not really desirable rocks. They're not really square enough for the wall or for sale, and I kind of need some just big old generic rocks over the bank, so I take those. But mostly I want to get in here, clean all this out all the way up to along that rock edge so that I have all of this room. And then get up in there and clean up the stuff that we pushed over the bank years ago. Get that all loaded in the truck. And this will all go over and extend the parking area up above. It's not really going to change anything to spend a day doing this. It does, once again, let me avoid the things that I'm not quite as sure about how to do by doing something I do know how to do. And moving dirt's a lot of fun. I mean, it's not as much fun without Dad, but it's still a lot of fun. And there's a lot of material here, and to have this bigger would be so very nice. So very nice. I need to get in and drill and blast that little chunk right there. Gets in the way of the backhoe, but very, very nice. And it's dry enough to do it, and I can just stockpile it up there, and we'll be golden. I had a little bit of rock right here set aside for whatever, for sale or whatnot, but it's all gonna go. All of it is gonna go. Branches, tree bushes. I might regret that later when they start growing through. It's all gonna go. So that's what I'm gonna do till I run out of fuel in the dump truck. And it's only about half a tank, so it won't run all day. Well, that didn't last long. Somebody made a comment about how this is a comedy channel because of all the stuff that goes wrong. So the dump truck no longer has any mufflers. They went kaboom. I'm in the wind here. Blew them apart. And when it has a load of rock in it, it does not have the horsepower to go up the hill. It grinds to a halt, grinds to a stall. So it looks like not moving dirt today. I'm gonna pop the hood and get all the pack rat crap off the top of the intake, get the valve covers cleaned off. We'll have a look at them, just make sure they're actually going up and down. Jeff Bradshaw at Elderly Iron, which if you have not subscribed or checked out Elderly Iron, Jeff is Chevrolet Jesus. He can heal anything. He says he's got a cam on the shelf for me if it turns out I need one. Personally, I'm kind of hoping for, I don't know, maybe broken valve springs, something like that. That would be nice, and so I don't have to take the front of the motor off. You know, and still could be carburation, but with it popping back out the carb in addition to out the bottom. Either way, I managed to get it empty, and I got it parked down by the house and blocked with some boards or whatnot. Let's go pop the hood, we'll let the motor cool off, we'll get her sucked off and see if we can figure out what's going on. It's just not usable. Might not have been necessary, but oh, that'll be so very, very nice. Alright, so there's our valve covers. Just got some junk in the way, pretty minor. I guess we'll start with the easy one there. Might as well find out what's going on with that. Well, that's not a good sign. I called and talked to Dad, and he'd done some research, and he said that this is one of the engines with the press-in rocker studs, and that, you know, they're somewhat famous, I guess, for maybe backing out over time. You know, this motor has spent large periods of time sitting. It's very, very clean, as you can see inside there. Been well maintained, but sitting. So, you know, maybe the lifters have collapsed. I guess what I'm going to do here is start it, and then I just want to see, you know, is everything going up and down. And then I'm going to try, his recommendation was to, you know, simply tighten them. Start it, make sure they're all going up and down, and if they do appear to be going up and down, then tighten them. And if it is pulling out the stud, then that'll at least, we'll have to address that problem, but they should hold for a bit, and then we can figure out if it is that, if it's a cam or whatever. And I guess he feels that if it's gonna be, if we got to pull heads to fix it, we're just gonna take the motor out and bring it to Kalispell and just do a quickie hone, re-ring, rebuild on the whole thing, boom, and just be done with it. So me, I'm hoping it's pulled studs, if only because I had a lot of work planned for the truck that I won't be able to do now. Okay, never mind. I've flooded the distributor with water when I cleaned it. So look at that. Damn it. And little adjustment doors part way open. Son of a gun. Okay. Well, I know what I'll be doing. I gotta pull air cleaners and everything. And dry out points and rotor, and we'll try her again. It really kind of bothers me that I don't see any lifters that are opposite each other. Nothing's really going up and down. Boy, it is 4 and 8. Everything else is tight. Okay, let me do that. All right, round 2. Great noise. Well, they're all going up and down. It's still those two. You know, I could be insane, but I would swear that distance right there is measurably larger than that one right there. And this one is measurably larger. How big a deal is the studs pulling out? How common is that? Well, you can even see it on camera. See that? So this pushed all the way down. Still, so that stud has pulled some. You can see the silver band on it is larger, and that silver band over there is larger. Or am I desperate? It could be that I'm really just really desperate for that to be the problem. I sprayed oil on my nice clean truck. Dang it. Alright. I'm going to try tightening them. Well, it's a lot better. It doesn't clatter. Well, I guess that's pretty obvious as to why, I imagine. It doesn't clatter like it used to. I did make an attempt with a punch, although I didn't quite keep it centered, and I made... It's going to be difficult to get that... Well, not difficult, but I damaged it just a little bit. But I couldn't... It didn't seem to drive in at all, so I'm wondering if it's just a optical illusion from... Boy, it sure looks like it to me, though. Looks like that's up compared to that one. Well, I'll snug it up, and I'll pull that cover off, and we'll have a look over there. So I gotta scrape this and get my new valve cover gaskets out. Alright, well, on the plus side, it is idling now on 8 cylinders. It is just rolling smoke, though. Of course, that could be, God only knows what was caked up in the manifolds. It still wants to stumble and pop when you rev it up. I'm gonna see
I'm going to see if it's got any more power, and if it's got power, I'm going to run it. It's 2 o'clock and I've spent a number of hours messing with this, and I got one load of dirt. So if I can get it to go up the road, then by God, we'll just go back to work. Okay, I think we're under the wind at this point. The truck did have more power afterwards, and it was able to get up and down the hill. So I have moved all of this up to this wall right here, and I need to clean out this just a little bit. There's another, I don't know, 6-7 loads right here. And yeah. So you know that old shed, the goal will be, if I can move it without ripping it apart, somehow get it in right there with the door facing out. I should have enough room. I can go at 10 feet. Even if I came out 10 feet, it still wouldn't be as far into this road as the old dirt pile used to be. Before I'm done, I'll grab all this, stack it over there. Machine's running okay. So, got a whole bunch done. There's more dirt in this than I liked, but you know, at some point I just had to do it. I need the room. Yeesh, 5:30. It's already dark. Well, it doesn't matter. The truck's empty. It's got no fuel. This thing's getting low. So we had to stop. Beautiful moon coming up. I've got that really nice blue juniper. I'm going to talk to Shay about where we could maybe put that. I got more of them, but you know, that's a 30-year-old tree. I'd hate to lose it. Hope I can transplant it somewhere. I think I'll be able to move it. I mean, Lord knows it's no loss if it fails, but I don't know. I think I can do it. It's got to be moved. All this junk over here has got to be moved. The neighbor gave me some of those 8-footer pallets. I can grab one of those, haul it up. All that PVC, the scrap steel. That might not go down there. I'd like to use it. Standard oil gasoline, standard oil diesel. I'd really like to use it. It's not built very well. Wonder what that weighs. I could reinforce the back, drag it out, come in with the backhoe. I gotta get it underneath that phone line. But I wonder if the backhoe would lift it if it were chained to the forks. Some 2x6s across here, like an X brace inside. It's not worth spending a lot of work trying to keep it, but it's worth spending something. Especially if it were cleaned out, leveled up, because it got shoved over here by somebody. So cleaned out, leveled up. I think it could be useful. Getting back to this trailer. I could pull that cap and find out where that bearing is. It seems odd that that bearing would be all the way back in there. I bet it's not. I bet this is just what they did. It's tight though. So, yeah. All right. I'm still working on that. Well, Tuesday night. I have got rain starting tomorrow and snow this weekend. So here we are, running after dark. The truck has headlights and 4 cab lights. Nothing else. I've got a pair of magnetic LED lights that I stick to the rear. In order to see. I got them shut off now to save the batteries, and I run the excavator with this headlamp. Maybe another 4 trucks. I have moved so much material I'm running out of room up on top, but I figure I've got days. I got tonight, so that's what I'm doing. We don't stop tonight until that is done. And after that, it'll be what it'll be. The truck is running not even remotely perfect, but much better after tightening up those 2 valves. So I suspect it's probably a cam issue, combined with rings issues and carburetor issues. Just a lack of love, but maybe she'll get it. Dad was talking about coming down Sunday. We'll yank the motor out. I don't know if it's worth it. I'll have to talk with him. Obviously it's his truck, so it's his call, but we'll have to talk it over. I gotta get back to digging. I'm sure I'm going to lose these under a pile of rocks soon. Don't blow a tire.
So there it is. That's what I'm doing.
Hey, hey, hey. So the hope is that I can come in with that shed and just from the side basically sit it where the excavator's sitting. This isn't maybe as flat as I'd like along the edge, but life sucks and time is short. You know, I doubt it's only marginally worth moving that dang thing to begin with. But I like this. I'm happy. So that'll sit where the excavator is sitting, and then everything can come down here. The engine crates can come down here. All of the steel can come down here. The top to the Jeep can come down here. And if it wasn't all just piled haphazardly because I'm an idiot, it would fit really nicely right in through here. It'll be a bit in the way when it comes to running the crusher, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. Man, that was like 20 truckloads of rock and dirt that came out of here. A little more dirt than I would have liked, but yeah. And remind me, I need to take a pan and sample some of that. Okay, look at that big beautiful moon behind this beat up big beautiful old girl. All right, that's how I drive the truck. Let's get this thing dumped and then parked in a way where if it ends up sitting for the rest of the winter, no big deal. If it ends up having the motor pulled out of it, it's at least mildly convenient. What time is it? 7:30. Score. We were flying today. Good job, me. Unfortunately, that's a bedrock shelf right there. And I didn't end up pulling the roots, I don't think, too bad on that juniper. It's the wrong time of year to transplant it. Beautiful blue juniper. Female. I think junipers have sex as well, like cottonwoods. Anyways, got berries on it. But this is all hard rock, so unless I was willing to do a bunch of excavation and break rock or blast, which I'm not, leave it. Nice. I'm happy. Another night, another accomplishment. It might not look like much, and I have yet to reinforce it, but the building is empty and clear. It's got a 2x4 sill along the bottom. I'm going to reinforce that with a 2x8 screwed into all the studs. I'll nozzle up to it, and then I'll use, I don't know yet, something. It's been moved once before and they just sort of plunked it down here. I think it'll survive it again. It's sheeted inside and out. 2x4 stud walls. Anyways, maybe something across here. I was thinking possibly a chain stretched tight or a ratchet strap. Or just screw boards alongside here and then cut one that drop down inside and screw it all together. But I'm hoping that if I ratchet strap it to the backhoe, that I can pick it up and move it. And I got to move it out far enough that we can come around behind, because when I move it, I've got to be behind the thing. I'd also thought about trying to go up and over the top, but it's already been clobbered once right there, which broke out all the support in this section. I mean, I'll screw boards along this edge, maybe an X-brace inside, something so it can't crush. I don't know how much power I can put against it. Well, doesn't matter. It can't stay here, because this area is low by a couple of feet and that area is high by a couple of feet, so that needs to come down over here. This is the well head underneath that trash can. It is too low by about 3 feet, so I got to get a chunk of well casing and weld it up. Then I need to get my water line up and power line up because I won't be able to dig it from up on top. So I'll have to do this part down here. Anyways, this has all got to be done. So the idea is to get that moved over where I showed you last night, and then all this crap that I've got stacked down in here, if it was neatly stacked, I think I can get it all down over in there, especially if I just go and say some of this is utter garbage and needs to go to the dump. All I can say is my wife better decide to come out and help me tomorrow, because moving this by myself, I'm going to break something. And I got to get underneath that phone line up there. That's okay. I think we can do it. Like I said, it's got to come out. This greasy girly started a little slow, but once she started, charged the battery, she's starting better. And I got the forks on it. I mean, this thing picked up the rock crusher. I think it'll pick up that building. Well, we'll know pretty quick. Another night, another adventure. So I'm no longer worried about being able to pick it up, that's for sure. I do not know whether these straps are going to be enough, however, I might have to use chain. But we're about to find out here. Everything is under tension. We're about to give her a test lift. Here we go. Okay, let's see. It's not going to explode, and I'm going to need you closer than that to see if you hear crunching. A little crunching's normal, a lot of crunching's bad. Hook the stove inside. Let's hope I didn't ruin that. Oh, lovely. Put the forks right fucking through it.
What? The stove?
Just destroyed an antique stove. Well, that old stove was worth more than this building. It's too heavy for me to move by myself, so I was going to lift this whole thing up over the top, but I hooked it with one of the forks from the inside, lifted it up into the air and ripped the whole front of it off. So, an enamelware stove. A little sick to my stomach, but we're going to lift this, we're going to block it up, and we're going to plan B. What's that?
You want me to put this board underneath?
Well, we gotta find a way to block the whole building up higher. Tell me when those two forks are down low enough, I can slip that beam across the top, please. Does it still stick out on that side?
Yes.
tighten those straps.
Where's the strap?
That's a sketchy noise. It's jammed right here. No? I don't know where it's jammed.
Am I still holding this right?
What?
Am I holding this right?
I don't know, probably. Okay.
Where did this tree come from?
This one. This is going to be the hard part right through here because it's unlevel,
Yeah.
right? So once we get underneath that phone line, what I'll try to do is I'll try to roll it farther back and lower it down so I get it as low as possible. Once we get underneath that phone line, then we're really home free at that point.
That's what I thought too.
So, you ready?
Okay.
Good luck with it all. You gotta stay. What? Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. I'll be close though. It'll be really close, so only yell if we're gonna hit. You got the best view right there, so stay up nice and tall. The other problem is I can't see the road.
I found a pothole. Okay, that's the line you want. to be up against?
I would like to set this as close
Right here?
to right here as we can. That's bedrock, right?
Yeah.
So we can't get up on it. You can see where I drove the excavator up on it. So we can't get up on it. But this line right in through here, and the building would sit right here.
So, you want it right here.
Yeah, I really like it right in here. So I'm gonna come around and try very carefully to swing it in, and then at the last minute, whoop, and we'll set her down, okay?
Okay.
But hey, look, hard part's already done, man.
Good
If
deal.
this thing falls apart right here, we'll just burn it where it is. Shay, you've got the bird's eye view, so I want you to be pointing your light right over here, okay? On the ground, down where my light is, all right? And that'll help your mom see that corner. This corner we don't care about.
This way a bit.
I really can't see.
Okay, this way a bit, towards Mom's truck. Because you're going to hit that.
I'm coming, Cry.
Well-
I want to cut this edge as hard as I can. Even if I come over the top of that rock just a little bit, that's fine. I'm going to come in and hopefully kick it right here.
Okay, okay. Okay! You're good! Holy moly. What was that, Jay? Did you hear that noise? Is there a cat in there? Stop! Hold on. Ken! Driving into the wall! Ken! What are you doing? You're hitting the back wall. I guess that's not a cat. Did you know your machine makes a cat noise?
The steering is too much weight on the front axle.
Oh,
Nice, okay. I'm going to back up and I'm just going to kick it ever so gently. Man, it's not too bad. Okay, I'll get a high five later.
oh,
There it is. I would have preferred it. I couldn't actually go too much farther back, but yeah, I could have gone a good 24 inches farther back. But that's fine. I'll fill the area behind it with scrap steel. We crushed it a little bit, but it wasn't much to begin with, and it's not much now. It's in a much nicer place. I still got plenty of room for when I want to clean this up. Sort of. We're golden. Sketchy but successful.